Hey everybody, clearing. Awesome. This is going to be a Divine Feminine check-in and basically some information for the DMs out there. So the first thing I'm going to look at is, where are the Divine Feminines at energetically, emotionally, mentally, and physically? What are the energetic themes that are affecting the emotions, the conscious mind, and the physical navigation for the feminines at this time? And then I'm going to get a message from each of those awarenesses for the divine masculine in how your feminine is experiencing those and what your feminine feels that means for your connection. Kind of an interesting thing. So let's begin. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the beautiful twins that join me here. What is it that we can see regarding how the Divine Feminine Collective is navigating energetics on the emotional level, the conscious mind level, and the physical level? Okay, for the emotions, we are getting the great elation, reconfiguration, cycles, and gratitude. So this is beautiful because the divine feminines are grateful for the journey right now. Emotionally, for many, I know the new moon in Cancer was a big energetic push emotionally, but it gave way to a newfound sense of peace and gratitude for the journey, for how far the divine feminine has come in their own right, seeing the cycles upon cycles, the wheels within wheels, the light within light. All of that, all of the repetitive patterns that have happened in karmic situations and the twin situation, the lunar cycles, the solar cycles, the cosmic cycles, it's all within it all. And so emotionally, there's a climatization happening for the feminines where it's not so scary, it's not so dire, it's not so rapid cycle. It is way more chill, and the feminines are coming into the gratitude, the reconfiguration of that being a good feeling and not so surprising and seemingly out of nowhere. There's a balancing of the emotions happening. Not only balancing, but joy coming in. So how would the feminines like to express that to the divine masculines? Let me have you. They're just so darn grateful for you. The 7 is a number of rest. This is a pause. You know, this is an authentic, I just heard a war cry. Silly divine feminines, like, go forth and conquer kind of energy. Let me have you. But this is really quite nice. It's just no holds barred. Like, feminines are confidently saying, I would have to say that some of the temperance on this journey, there is a very overt phase. There's a very sheepish phase. There are every facet to this journey you can imagine. And there is now a return to the confidence that just says, you know, you're my person. Let's do this. Come on. Like, you're my person. Let's just do this. So emotionally, there's no more taking the, you know, okay, so those divine masculine things, friend zone, need space, too intense, I'm into you, that kind of cycling, the feminines have learned to stay on that bucking bronco for the count. And now they're like, okay, I get it, let's just do this. They're not going to take the journey so seriously or personally in a negative way that it rocks their inner balance out of alignment. No matter what's been thrown at the feminines, there is this confidence that after it all, through thick and thin, good sickness and in health, good times and in bad, boom, I still want you, divine masculine. It's still you. Okay, on the conscious mind, what can we see? We are getting chamber of communication, correspondence, declaration, and telepathy. So this is the mind space. How gorgeous that the feminines are coming into the consciousness, the declaration, the correspondence, the realization that You are not separate. Across time and space, in separation or not, you have this connection. You share this connection. There is no getting away from it. It is true. And so many divine feminines have been talking lately about this heightened telepathic knowing between twins with their DM. I hear it all the time. There is such a confirmation of that. So for divine masculines watching, definitely your feminine is picking up on your messages, knows what you're talking about. It is safe to dive into this and really affirm it. You can confirm it. You can know that your feminine is conscious of that. It's not in your head. It's not in her head. On the conscious mind, what would the feminines want to say to their divine masculine about telepathy and about this correspondence that you share? At this stage in the journey, for the twins that join me here, what is the message that the divine feminines, oh wow, we get, I'm too afraid to talk to you. So telepathy might feel safer for the feminines right now. And I do want to say that how this is resonating is that it may not be the feminine's turn to make that 3D communication or contact. So the feminine is concerned about reaching out in the 3D because of the telepathic communication, because of the foundation, because of times in the past when it has not resulted in permanent union. The feminine is leaving this action of contact, making contact, up to the masculine to address any elephants in the room, any things that might still need to be worked out. The feminine feels safer in the telepathic plane with the masculine, with you masculine at this time. So if your divine feminine is not reaching out, has seemed to take space, but you can still feel that telepathic communication, there's something awkward at very least that your feminine doesn't want to bring up, does not necessarily feel it is easy for them to initiate a conversation around in the physical. I am coming, trust, and do you even care? So 2 more messages here. Absolutely trust, masculines, that your feminine has not left the journey. They want you. Absolutely still want to come forward. They are still there. They still want to meet you there, but they're not sure that you care right now. And this is not a test saying I'm too afraid to initiate the conversation and uncertain that you don't care. This is not a test of if you care or not, but I am getting this very clear feeling from the feminines that they don't actually know how much you value this connection, masculines, because when they don't reach out in the physical, it looks like you're not reaching out. And so there is this safety in the telepathic level. So I would advise, just take my advice if you want. It's just advice. Work this out telepathically, twins. If this is resonating, use this as a topic of discussion in the telepathic level and communicate to each other about this frequency, about the fear to talk in the physical, about whatever it is that may have transpired that has made it safer to be in the telepathic realm right now. Okay, and in the physical at this time, what energies are the feminines navigating? Lyran Stargate, ancestry, courage, wisdom, and empathy. Yeah. So this is a lot of generational healing, a lot of curiosity about family line, about genealogical stories and talking to family members and really finding place and understanding for life path. Karmic situations. I know a message has come through a lot for divine feminines to talk to their mothers about the month that they were conceived in, what was going on for their mama, and how did that transfer to them in utero. empathy and wisdom. There's a lot of flexibility coming in for the divine feminine's thinking, desiring to listen for understanding and no longer judging, really keeping an open, limber mind with everything that's coming up from the sovereign perspective of the divine masculine and in the feminine's own journey. So this is real world events and circumstances and opportunities coming up for the divine feminines to soften, to be more receptive to what is, to be more practical, more grounded. So allow that motion to ground in your life, feminines, because this is courageous to just meet your reality where it's at, how it is, with an open mind that it does not need to be a deal breaker, scary thing, an intimidating thing, that anything that is showing up for you is the next step towards exactly what you've been praying for, what you've been intending or desiring. Whatever is right in front of you, we can get there from here. That is the next step. That is what your reality is showing you is available, and therefore it is the way through. Learn to work with whatever is there for you right now as the exact thing needed for the next step, the way through, the way towards what your heart says is the path. That is masterful to do. What message would the divine feminines like to share with the divine masculines here? Sex with you, gossip only hurts more. And I'm not a very jealous person, so jealousy in the reverse. So here is that boundary setting. We had a bunch of third-party, poly, open relationship stuff coming up a little while ago, and it looks like the feminines have really been seeing things rolling out in their own realities that have allowed for further exploration of the dynamics of sexual conduct, appropriate conduct, interaction, frequency, compatibility, connection. This is all adding up to be the courage, the wisdom, the empathy that sees all sides of the coin. And because this has a theme of sex and jealousy and gossip, it's just sort of cutting to the essence, a feeling of just coming into energy as energy, keeping the essential, the pure, letting anything that's unaligned go, and trusting that anything that is meant will grow in the right ways naturally, and that anything that's not working has to be released. There's a lot of ancestral clearing that allows for the release of that baggage of anything that's showing up that is a reflection of the imprinting and not the healed direction that things are moving in. So masculines, your feminine would like you to know that they are really embodying an open mind and trusting that energy is self-evident, and that what is showing up for them is deeply instructive about the inner workings of these themes: reputation, jealousy, competition, sexual connection, intimacy, and what that all means. There is a very easy, receptive, practical, grounded motion that the feminine is looking at, and really distilling things to energy being energy, and forgiving the rudimentary triggering things that come up to discern energy, and seeing those as cues and instruction rather than deal breakers and criticisms. Ooh, that's a good one. Let me say that again. The feminines are seeing energetic responses as instructions, signposts, rather than triggers and deal breakers. That's a massive, courageous, wisdom-filled, empathic interpretation of frequencies in the most intimate of arenas. That is incredible. Okay, so let's do some cards now on what we can know regarding how the feminines are thinking and feeling for these connections. What is the heart wish for the feminines? What actions are being taken? What is the biggest challenge for the divine feminines? What is the spirit-guided solution for that challenge? And where are the feminines going energetically? What is the next step for the feminine contribution towards union? Okay, what are the feminines thinking, divine feminines thinking? There's a card of telepathy again. 8 of Wands is my telepathic messages, transference, energetic transference, and we have the Strength card. So the Strength card shows up when the devil's been at play, and so this means that the feminines are mustering the strength to use accurate discernment, not projecting, not telling the divine masculine story, really coming into receptivity and genuine connection, looking at energy, just like we saw a moment ago, energy allowing itself to confirm itself, if that makes sense. Putting down the temptation to twist the story, to fabricate story, to make assumptions, to fill in the blanks. If there's any confusion, the feminines are releasing that and not needing to know. If it's crazy making, feminines are thinking that that's not worth their energy and time, and they're releasing that and going about their merry way, is what I'm getting here. So there is a real balancing out and allowing accuracy to come in, because there isn't the illusion playing out like there was. There's true strength and a balancing of ego here, so the triggers aren't running the show, so things aren't being run with, so energetic assessments aren't being run with in a negative way. Interesting. So what are the divine feminines feeling on the heart space? Oh, the Hermit in the reverse and the 3 of Cups in the reverse. They're wanting to come out of the distance. We did have that physical realm exploration of sexual connection, jealousy, gossip, all of that, and we do have third party here on the heart space. So this is a very sincere exploration for the feminines, wanting to come out of Hermit, wanting to not be at the mercy of third party situations. So whichever stage the feminines are finding themselves on the journey, they are not wanting third parties to be an issue. They're wanting to not have that push them into isolation, but being able to look at the destined path, the open-mindedness, the forgiveness, and the read of energy for energy's sake. Not so much the competition, lack, loss, frequency. And this is true friendship. So this is being able to come into harmony with you, divine masculine, on the heart space without making you at odds because of other energies in your life or not. Keeping healthy boundaries. The Hermit is having gone or needing to go into deep heart-centered meditation to discern what is truly in alignment, what is worth being loyal to, what the destined path is. I'll give you a hint. It's always love. Destiny is love. Love is our destiny. All people, all individuals are on a destined path for love in growing capacity. And so the feminines here, so for some, you haven't gone into the meditation that allows you this grace to come in. For many, this meditation has been ongoing, and there are breakthroughs coming through here, and true friendship is truly available to you, masculine. In many cases, your feminine does not need to have hot and cold, yes and no, extreme life or death in this connection. They can be a friend. Your feminine is someone that can be a friend regardless. This is compromising energy and not needing to go so far apart into separation because of certain frequencies coming in. Unconditional love is all I'm hearing there. What are the feminines wishing? Queen of Wands in the reverse and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. I just heard straight out the Divine Feminine is wishing to know if you still think of them as your twin flame, Divine Masculine. For those watching this, you surely are on a twin flame video, so that languaging is not going to be unexpected. Your Divine Feminine wants to know if you still think they are your twin flame. Straight up. That's the biggest thing. Do you see it? Do you understand it? Is there a sign? Can you admit that, or have you convinced yourself that that is no longer the case? They are wishing to know. What action are the Divine Feminines taking? The Divine Feminines are manifesting their own understanding of commitment, loyalty, long-term energy, faithfulness. In the reverse, they're seeing how they have not been ready for that in true, authentic compatibility, where there have been things that were unseen, that were not recognized. Traumas, I'm hearing, imprinting, damage done because of the ways of the earth plane, the way that children are influenced by what they think is possible or not with relationship. The Divine Feminines are seeing the faulty logic, some of the faulty foundational influences that have accidentally been causing skewed understanding of what commitment is. The Feminines are really looking at karmic imprinting and histories, that ancestral clearing. This is the father. So maybe father bloodlines, those sorts of things right now. The influence of the father, the masculine archetype in their life. Really taking a look at that and being conscious of how that can be factored in at this stage of the journey. Wow. Okay, what's the biggest challenge for the Divine Feminines? Wishing for things to get moving in the physical, wishing for this foundation. The biggest challenge is not seeing progress right now in the 3D and wanting it. Feeling ready and asking the divine, where is it? Why isn't it here? What is the spirit guided solution? Oh, you don't know what you don't know, feminines. That is the spirit guided solution. There are things going on behind the scenes. But if you pay attention, there is indication of this brewing victory behind the scenes here. This is the public victory, the coming forward. This can also be an ego show. This can be things for show. So this is a bit of a message here. Divine Feminines, if you feel like your masculine is living this very happy life and has it all dialed in, all figured out, you've bought into their hype that they have told you that they are the one person that's figured out how to be happy, but yet you're not in their life, and so you can tell there's a bit of a disconnect. Don't believe their hype. Just know that there's more going on behind the scenes. This is a humility in motion. This is kind of the act, the stage of the play where things become humbled. So that's what's going on behind the scenes. There's no motion right now because you don't want to connect with that showy reputation that the masculines thought defined them, the mask. You don't want to connect with that. So basically allow that to fall away, allow it to secretly behind the scenes work itself out. Even if it doesn't look like progress towards your connection, this is what's happening behind the scenes. The masculine polarity is becoming more humble, more tempered, less likely to do things for reputation and for external expectation. That is being sorted out, I'm being told. The Seven of Swords, Seven of Air, can also be places that we lie to ourselves or things have been stolen from us. So in a way, this is when we've gotten the short end of the stick and then we act out in response to that toxic behavior. We try to detoxify it by making it acceptable and conducting ourselves in that same way. So this is the masculine seeing through that, and you also, divine feminine, seeing through any ways that you've been toxic because you were shown that that was the norm, and now it's being recognized for what it is, and you're no longer able to conduct yourself that way. The masculines are no longer able to conduct themselves that way because it's not a true victory. And so it's being worked through secretly behind the scenes in the inner worlds of each twin, I'm hearing. It's all being seen through right now, independently. And isn't that the way that it's supposed to go? It's supposed to be each of us accountable for our own karma. We can't do it for someone. And we don't need proof of it happening, except that they show up differently, changed. Where is the energy going in the near future? We get the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. Oh, maybe this is the Knight of Swords, actually. Okay, so a sweet love message and not a lengthy, more intellectual message. So not a lot of thought put in, but there seems to be some spontaneous message that's been sent without thinking. Some rare event when pigs fly. So, wow, spontaneous desire to message each other. Something's going to come through. Unexpected is what I'm hearing here. So some divine masculines may reach out, some divine feminines may reach out. But it does actually, you know what I'm getting? Masculines might be feeling a lot of the distance as well, and before the feminine floats away for good, I'm feeling like there should be some communication coming in from what I'm seeing here. If you don't get it, maybe it's in that telepathic realm, but feminines, you do appear ready for some of the misconceptions to be cleared up, some of the actual things sorted in the 3D, the elephants in the room. And so the page comes in with a little sweet gesture to let you know that they are not gone. So for many, there will be communication. Please pop it in the comments below if you get that. How lovely. But that is just the beginning, because quite quickly after the page we see a knight, and so it can develop into more. And I'm looking at the king here right below it, so page to knight to king. There is a progression of energy there, but expect the unexpected, divine feminines, divine masculines. If you're watching this, I'm even just seeing a little heart emoji being sufficient at this time to let your feminine know that you still recognize the connection. And for feminines watching, I do think that there's going to be a little something. Oh, I've never seen that before. There's just this little love and light thing going on. How beautiful. So yeah, energetically you're always connected here, and a miraculous 3D sign is going to come to many. So watch out for it. Okay, divine feminines and divine masculine cross watchers, it's been a blast. See you soon.